Okay, fantastic. So we are almost all here, but I just want to get started so we can respect our timeline. The reason why I decided to put this training together is because marketing is such a vast landscape, and there's some fundamentals that we need to look at and continuously revisit so that we can make sure that all strategies that we are doing across the board, whether it's doing a YouTube video or a blog article or a newsletter or an outreach strategy or a video content, it's all in alignment with the overarching goal, which is getting people to become clients and then consistently come back and repeat their orders. So I have developed a chart for visuals that we're going to go over. Let me share my screen here. So this is a customer journey map that I developed with like some MBP twists to it. So everybody's aware of the customer ladder, right? First and foremost, somebody might be unaware of their, what the solution or what the problem is. They just maybe feel their pains, or they have desires like, I want to have more energy, I want to feel more healthy, I want to stop being addicted to XYZ, right? I want to be more motivated, I want to be more driven, right? The initial stage within the awareness ladder is being unaware of what the problem and the solution is, right? So most people in the customer journey are within this unaware or problem aware stage. Generally speaking, when we run ads, Facebook, Google, any type of paid campaign, we're focused on people that are solution aware, people that are ready to buy the solution. But the reality is that solution aware people is only 5% of the market. So if we are not looking into the unaware and problem aware and nurturing people within these two initial stages, then we're missing a really big part of the market share. And this goes for us, and this goes for all of our clients. So there needs to be some form of education, nurturing, and there's systems, of course, that we all know within marketing that are designed for this, so that if somebody is unaware, then they become aware of what the problem could be. And then lastly, then they become aware of the solution and then choose us or the ideal client as or our client as the ideal choice. And then of course there's people that are product aware. There's people that are so advanced that have already looked at all of the different products out there, and they know that they just want to buy the best collagen protein, or they want to work with the best hypnotherapy that they resonate with, right? So these people are already product aware. And of course, there's some strategies to get people from product aware and then come back to purchasing our clients' products, because maybe they went to a competitor and they weren't happy. So how can we get them to come back to us? So for further clarification, after a client becomes unaware and then into problem aware, some of the strategies that we could use to move people from unaware to problem aware is some type of content strategy. So articles, SEO, YouTube SEO, really talking about the pains and the desires of the clients. So if we're talking about the ideal customer, let me think of a client's ideal customer so I can give an example. Sacred Sites, for example. Sacred Site is one of our clients that does, she's an optometrist, she's an eye doctor, but she does a very specific type of eye therapy that's very new, it's very innovative. So right now, what we're doing to target their pains and their desires is, well, you're having a hard time focusing, you have a hard time reading, your eyes have pain and you're sensitive to light, right? These are all pains that people are, but they're unaware of what it's coming from. So the way that we can get them from unaware to problem aware through articles, YouTube videos, LinkedIn articles, etc., is talking about, well, that pain that you feel in your eyes and that light sensitivity that you feel at the end of the day, what if that's coming from your eyes? And then what if that's binocular vision dysfunction, which is the problem that our client Sacred Site treats, right? So just as an example, making articles that talk about What are the trending topics? This is where our trending topic report comes in too. This is where our trending topic report comes in too, because we can see like what people are asking, like what are the pains. Let me actually pull that document up because I got a lot of good information looking at the trending content report. And I just want to be able to use an example so everybody feels 100% clear on what I'm sharing. So for the trending content report, I'll share this tab. I saw that people were talking about sleep disruption and insomnia. Well, sleeping disruptions and insomnia, it could be your eyes, it could be binocular vision dysfunction. Now you see, or cognitive fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, social anxiety, feeling bad in crowded spaces, like all of these here. Even there's communities in Reddit that talk about long COVID, and of course long COVID is something that's associated, or traumatic brain injuries in childhood. That wasn't part of the trending topic report. Nobody was really asking questions about traumatic brain injuries and like the symptoms, but or like the problems that it might cause. But these are some key macro topics that people were discussing that all leads to the problem. So there could be YouTube articles, YouTube videos, SEO articles, LinkedIn, whatever other type of content that brings somebody from unaware to product aware. And then from there, we want to make sure that when they're in the problem aware stage, this is the stage where we need to start building trust and authority, because at this stage, our client needs to be recognized in the lead's eyes that it becomes unaware to problem aware, and they're like, oh, well, that's a possibility. I feel brain fog and fatigue because it could be my eyes. That sounds like a reasonable thing. At that stage, we need the lead, the prospect, the audience to look at our client as the light bringer. So is anybody here not familiar with the hero's journey of storytelling? And I'll recap if somebody's not familiar with it. Okay, so the hero's journey is basically like our client in any story that we tell, through content, through articles, through a landing page, whatever. Our client isn't the hero. The prospect is the hero, because the client is the one that shows the person the way. They're the light bringer, they're the light shower, they're the light figure. Does anybody here have a story that they could use from like Star Wars something? Who talked about that in the other call? I think it was Emra. Emra, do you have an example of like
That
a
was
modern day?
like that was the example in the course, in the training we did. The Star Wars, Luke was no, the Obi-Wan Kenobi was the light bringer to Luke, and I don't know, I don't remember the
I mean, I watched Star Wars years ago, so
yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example though. So for example, like the series that we're developing for Emilia Lujan, I'm on my hero's journey with that series. I'm in a position where I'm looking to grow, I'm looking to be better, I'm looking to expand my health and my wellness, and there's light showers along the way. Like Amanda is a doctor that's working with me. She's showing me the way towards balancing my nervous system, which is something that I personally have a challenge with. So when we work with clients, Amanda, we don't position Amanda as the hero when we're doing her positioning and her brand story, etc. We're positioning Amanda as the light shower, because they're that person that you say, oh, right now I'm in my hero's journey, but right now I'm in the dark side of my hero's journey. Maybe I feel fatigued, I feel confused, I feel lost, I feel out of focus, I don't know what to do. So our client becomes the light shower, the light bringer, and they're the ones that take you on this journey towards healing. Is that clear? Okay, awesome. So at this stage, when somebody's problem aware, we need to establish our client as the light bringer. And this is what is going to give the person, this is where we need to build trust and authority, because the more trust and authority that we build as you know, Emilia could be the light bringer for businesses feeling lost with their marketing, for example. If we're talking about MBP, we are the light bringer and we are the solution, the path that takes them there, right? So going back to Sacred Site is the light bringer for the audience that was at one time unaware and then became problem aware. And now they know, oh, it could be my eyes. That's why I'm feeling all of these symptoms. So now at this stage, we need to bring people from problem aware to solution aware. And the solution would need to be our client's unique method then becomes the beacon for hope for the journey. So the person's feeling lost, like, oh, like one of our verticals for Sacred Sites is busy entrepreneurs that feel fuzzy, that feel brain fog, that feel tired, and it's impairing them at work. So they see the client, ooh, Sacred Site is the light bringer, great. Now I'm going to opt in to their free opt-in. So Sacred Site has like a quiz, but they could also have like an ebook or something like a webinar or something that's educational so that the person can be nurtured. And the person can start going on this journey of discovering like, ooh, the solution is the client's unique method. Our client's unique method, or MBBA, which is our unique method, it becomes the journey, the path. It becomes the clear path that takes the person from becoming unknown to known, or from becoming sick to healed. Okay. And then I'm going to show you a different diagram shortly after we're done moving through this to go a little bit deeper. So again, client solution is being aware. So we can bring people from problem aware to solution aware through Google Ads, Meta Ads, Content Curator, through our Lead Hive strategy, right? To bring people to understand that this is the solution, and we want to hold their hand through their journey, and we want them to feel like they're confident and like we are really rooting for them because our clients or ourselves were the light bringers. And now we want to make sure that our audience goes from solution aware all the way to product aware. And now the product aware, at this stage, let's go back to Sacred Site. So the problem is the BVD, binocular vision dysfunction. So, oh shit, I have anxiety, I have brain fog, it might be my eyes, that's the problem, binocular vision dysfunction. The solution is prismatic glasses, or this, which is the type of therapy that Sacred Site uses, where you use micro prisms inside glasses, and that retrains your whole system and the way that your eyes process information. So the solution is the prism glasses. The prism glasses are the client's unique method. That's exactly their unique method. It's the prism glasses. So that's a solution for them. And now how do we get them to become an ideal choice? Like the client now needs to be, okay, now they know this is a solution, the prism glasses. Now I want to work with Sacred Site 100%, 1000%. So the client's program at this stage, when the person becomes product aware, the client's program needs to then become the obvious choice as the path for the person on the hero's journey. At this stage, I'm saying, like, I am so impaired at work. Now I understand prism glasses can help me. And now that I've seen everything that that Sacred Site does through user-generated content, creator partnerships, giveaways, some other paid advertisements with testimonials, for example. Now we're doing more type of promotional content. And now the person says, you know what? I know that prism glasses are the solution. And because I'm so aware of this problem and Sacred Site has shown me the way on this path, now I see that this program that Sacred Site has is the path that I'm going to take on my hero's journey, because we have the substance to back it up, testimonials, creators, other people talking about this, right? So at this stage, So going back to these stages that I wrote here at the bottom, and then I'll finalize with the most aware audience. So here we talked about the most important thing when we're talking to a problem aware audience is building trust. That part of building trust and building authority never really stops. It needs to be something that's consistent, because when we put our clients in front of an audience, we want to make sure that people are like, "Ooh, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to work with you." But that takes building a lot of trust and a lot of authority. So then once they become solution aware and they know that prism glasses are a potential solution for their needs, this is where we get to connect and engage, and we get to create a deeper connection with our audience, because now they're in the way of making that final purchasing decision. And then of course, after product aware, now the person becomes our client, we want to make sure that we can get advocacy out of it as well, because our systems aren't just designed to get people to become one-time clients. We want them to become repeat clients, and then we want them to tell their friends and their family and get rewards and get, a bunch of different benefits from being part of the program. So this is where we get people to advocacy. And then lastly, of course, there's going to be people that are most aware. They already know that prism glasses exist. They already know a lot of other sacred site provider, or not sacred site, neurovisual specialist providers, which is what that's called. Now, how do we get them to become a client of Sacred Site instead of one of our competitors? So for example, now I'll speak specifically, well, I'll speak on Sacred Site and then I'll talk about MBP. For Sacred Site, maybe they worked with a practitioner that didn't really take the time to listen to them. They didn't really give them holistic solutions. So what are the differentiators of Sacred Site? Like, what makes Sacred Sites unique from their competitors? And what are the pain points that our other people feel when working with our competitors? Well, with MBP, it's obvious. For example, marketing agencies, a lot of people feel, well, I paid a bunch of money and nothing happened. Or I started getting results, but then it dwindled and then they didn't do anything, and then I got frustrated and then I left. Or after I paid my initial invoice, they became unresponsive. So being unreliable is a huge pain point that people have when working with our competitors. So one of our ideal clients might be in most aware stage. They might have worked with 5 other agencies by now. So how can we get them to become a client of ours? Well, it's like saying, hey, I hear you're paying. You've worked with other agencies before and you're not getting results, or they're ghosting you, or another one is they are not understanding your vision. That happens a lot. Clients come to me and they're like, they didn't even understand what I did. And I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy fix for us because we're in the holistic health space. So I know that space very thoroughly. So this is where we get to touch on the pain points. And I'm going to add that here. Pain points from working with our competitors. Okay. And then of course, how can we find most aware audience people? Well, we can definitely find them through Google ads or Facebook ads, or we can look at communities, our ICP's community, like Reddit groups that are talking about, people venting over being frustrated and with their process, and they're looking for good solutions or clarity, right? So overall, this is the chart that I put together. I'd love to hear any aha moments or key takeaways from 1 or 2 people. And then I want to share one last thing, one last diagram that would be probably helpful for some team members here. I like to hear from 1 or 2 people. And I can choose the people, but you could also choose. Okay, I'd like to hear from Luis.
Yeah, hi, Emilia. Can you repeat, please, the last question?
The last question is, what was a key takeaway or aha moment?
Yeah, can you give me an example, please?
Well, within this training that I just went through, it was short, just 20 minutes. I explained this chart. basically how we can move people from unaware to product aware, and then choosing our clients as the ideal path and as the ideal solution. From all of this explanation that I gave, from the services that we offer that help lead them there, all the way to the different options or types of contents or assets that we can develop to help them along the journey. Like, what would you say, do you have a key takeaway on this training? Like, did you learn something
Yes,
interesting or new that can help you with your Google ads?
yes. For example, there are in Google Ads we have different campaigns, right? Um, the same of Facebook, like we have different type of campaigns that we can help to the customer on this journey. For example, first resolve the problem or maybe make aware of the problem. So there are some type of campaign Google Ads like display campaigns or performance campaigns, which includes creative videos or images, right? This will be something wider, like a wider audience before learning of what they are searching for in Google Ads, and then there are some difference. There are some others campaign like search campaign, which includes some keywords of the solutions. What are the people looking or searching in Google? Maybe manufacturing services near me. So this will be like maybe the third one, the third department will be product aware or solution aware, right? Or maybe the solution aware will be more, maybe some a long tail keyword like I have like supplement manufacturing, and then that would be the second one. But the third one will be like supplement manufacturing near me or cost for, yeah, like create my own supplement brand near me or something like that, that we have a very high intent. So, but before that, we have to show them like the problem, for example, in YouTube. Like maybe we are targeting people between 40 or 16 years old, 60 years old, that they are like managers or SEO, and they have money to invest in something, or maybe people that work in the wellness industry and they are interested on supplements. So we can create a video campaign for the first step or the first journey, that it's the problem aware. So these people will be watching the video in YouTube or Apple TV or many other channels that YouTube have. And then with that funnel, that it's like populating the audience. In this case, if we are creating remarketing audience, we can create them. We can using them in another campaign for a search campaign or display campaign, whatever, with the solution aware and then the product aware. So it's the same on Facebook, but in this case for Google would be this type of campaign journeys.
Yeah, that's great, because one of the things, like for example, speaking on one of our past clients, FEMA, when we launched their campaigns, we were focused on people that were already product aware. So the people that, wanted to lose weight, they were and wanted to use the like their body M sculpt or whatever, the they were already aware that there's other people, so they were most aware audiences, so that they would say, oh well, I'm going to get this promotion from here, and then I'm going to go to another place and get a promotion, right? So a lot of times when we target just product aware or most aware people, this is something that we've learned through our own journey of working with our clients, is we're missing out on a huge market share. So when we're developing our new Facebook ads campaign and our new Google ads or YouTube ads campaign, we need to put a heavy emphasis on a problem aware, an unaware, problem aware and solution aware audience, so that we can make sure to move them into our product aware and make us as the ideal choice. Okay, I'm going to share one more chart, and then we can open it up if there's any last minute discussions. I'm going to share my whole screen. Can you see my iPad?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So this is a chart that I drew when I was doing my sales training, and a couple of you might recall of this diagram, which I've shown before. I think this is like such an amazing representation. Here on the red side, this is called Hell Island. This is where the person is in pain, they're dealing with their struggle, their challenge, they have their desire to go into what is called Heaven Island. So this is where people want to go. Like they're like, oh my God, I am so tired of being tired. Like I want to go to Heaven Island where I can feel energized and slim and excited and secure and all of the other things that we spoke about in our other training. And what we want to make sure that people know, whether we're doing an awareness campaign or we're developing a YouTube video with a specific topic, is that we want people to see the solution as the path of least resistance. Least resistance meaning that everything else that they try, that you could see here, is a dead end, or it's so complicated that they're never going to get there. So our path is the one of least resistance. It's quick, it's easy, it's seamless, similar to, you know, with Sacred Site, for example. You just get glasses. That's it. It's simple. It's straightforward. You put the glasses on when you wake up. You take the glasses off when you go to sleep, and that's it. You don't need to set time aside to do your eye training. You don't need to go to the ophthalmologist like every week so that they can do additional treatments on you. You just put the glasses on. It's an investment of $1,500 one time. You get 2 pairs of glasses. You get your assessment, and then you get to go back home, and then you're done. Instead of having to pay $15,000, which is what our competitors charge, right? So you're seeing how that's the path of least resistance here. It's like, it's the ideal solution, because everything else, oh, you go to an ophthalmologist that, you know, they do your eye treatment, but it's like a dead end, because if you stop doing it, then you're going to revert back to the same exact problem. Or this is such an expensive solution, like you might get there, but it might take you years instead of just 1 year. It might take you 10 years to get to Heaven Island instead of just quick, direct. Within 1 year, you get to go to Heaven Island, because you just, all you need to do is put glasses on. That's it. Does anybody have questions, comments? That's basically it on this training. This is like a more high level training that is focused on strategy, and anybody on the team that deals with strategy, that works with strategy, these are just some key things to know, because even in this customer journey that I developed here on Figma, I made it digitally on purpose, because here we could use this for brainstorming. Like, for example, when we're ready to develop trending content reports, we need to see what are the things that are going to make people unaware to problem aware, or problem aware to solution aware. So we need to look at everything that we do, because we're an end-to-end marketing solution. Everything that we do needs to be in, within the line of moving people up the awareness ladder, and it needs to position our clients as the ideal path. So within this stage, these 2 stages, for example, the ideal path versus our competitors. Awesome. So let's end here. Everybody's welcome to open their mic. Does anybody have any key takeaways or something that they want to share, an aha moment? Anytime that we share, other people get more insight. So I encourage 1 or 2 people to share something. Go ahead, Reggie.
Hi. So I just have this realization. So here in the Philippines, we have this called tindahan, which is like a variety store. And since that business is very accessible, like if you just have fund or money, you can put up your own like variety store tindahan. So you will notice that every corner of the street have like that tindahan. But I am thinking the reason why, even though the same tindahan, the same store sells the same items, why certain tindahans or certain stores have the most customer. And I just realized how like storytelling and USP is the most important. So for storytelling, people just not people does not buy only your products. People are buying the brand itself. People are buying like trusting you with the products that they bought. So even though you have no like even though you offer the same services, like you're a chiropractor and other practitioner is also a chiropractor, you offer the same services at the same price. The USP itself is your the brand and your story, how you communicate with the client, and how accessible you are, how easy to have a transaction with you, how fast to have a transaction with you. That is the USP itself. So I am thinking that sometimes um, we are looking for like USPs that like out of the box, because some before that's my thinking, like the USP should be something amazing, something out of the box, something that really differentiates you with the other brand or with other business. But sometimes USP is just making things simple, accessible, and like in storytelling there, and also with for me as I'm working on copywriting, that there's a power with mirroring. Like in order for people to trust you, is somehow um uh they must form in copywriting, they must somehow they must sense that they know you somewhere. And the like the closest people that they must know, I mean the closest example is of that of mirroring is when writing copy, you must speak the language of your audience. So for me, as I'm still working on my copywriting, I want to like when I'm writing a copy, I want to make sure that I sound like them. Like when they are reading the copy or anything, it sounds like I'm telling their story through the copywriting. So I realized how the personality of the brand or the light shower could be fit on these areas. It's either personality as the brand or somehow personality of their mothers. Like that's how the brand personality or the brand voice comes in. So yeah, something like
Awesome. Thank you, Reggie. I appreciate that share. And it's so important for people to feel identified with the brand because people don't buy products, they buy brands. Exactly as you said. Awesome. So let's end here. I don't want to go over any longer. I appreciate everybody for joining this training. I wanted to show you these items. If you'd like to get access to the diagram that I put together, it's inside the Google Calendar. So you're welcome to view it through clicking the link. And if you want editing access or to duplicate it, just let me know for brainstorming purposes. Just let me know. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. I'll send everybody this recording in case you want to watch it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Bye.
Emilia.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.